is the Abbey Normal Podcast, here to tell you that you're weird and that's normal.
Boredom is all-encompassing. Voicemails, voice memos, vagina monologues. It's the shit that, like, we weren't intentionally recording.
Right.
Right before she left on a cross-country road trip, Annie popped by. She looked kind of different, but I couldn't place why. And then she told me this.
So yeah, I stopped drinking for 3 months. The intent behind that was to reset my relationship with alcohol. During the pandemic, my relationship with alcohol evolved into something that was not great, is how I'm going to phrase it. It's hard to like throw out the term alcoholic when you're in a pandemic because it feels more serious than it was, but it absolutely was alcoholism. I will say that. Like, I started drinking out of boredom, and my poison of choice is wine. So I would open a bottle of wine by myself because pandemic, and then I would drink that entire bottle of wine throughout the course of an evening. And then, you know what sounds really good after you finished a bottle of wine? Opening another one. And then I would do that and may or may not finish that one. So drinking over one bottle of wine a night was becoming a bit of a habit that I didn't feel good about. So I decided I needed to take a break. You know this about me. I do a sober month every year. It's typically in October. I call it Soaptober. And then I go on no bender. It's a joke. It's not usually a bender, but you know. But this year I decided I needed to do it before then because I felt like it was necessary. So yeah, I stopped drinking March, April, May. No, February, March, April. So May was when I was free to drink again if I wanted to. I didn't drink at all for those 3 months, and it was really weird at times. When I would get bored, I would just have to sit there with that boredom and either just be in that or find something else to do. I read a lot of books. Yeah, I can't even really think about what else I did. I drank a lot of water, which was good. I lost 30 pounds in 3 months of not drinking, which is insane. And then I'm free to drink again now, but my relationship with alcohol is very different. Like, I am drinking wine with Abbey right now, obviously, but this is the first time I've had something to drink in like maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm not drinking on the weekly anymore. It's not like I can say like, oh, every week I drink X amount. Like, it's more like every other week or every couple weeks I might have wine with a friend or a beer or whatever. Like, it's definitely a lot different.
So how are you feeling about it?
Really good, actually. Yeah, really. I don't know how to say it. Really good. Like, overall, I feel really good about what I was setting out to do was to reset my relationship with alcohol, and I do feel like that did happen. Like,
yeah. In what way?
I am not on the daily craving it, or it just doesn't feel like a habit anymore. Because before it was sort of feeling like a habit, like it was sort of born out of boredom, but then it just sort of became a habit. And it was also a very expensive habit. So yeah, I'm saving a ton of money. I'm losing weight. And I don't know. In the evenings now, I just drink like decaffeinated tea or water.
And that's satisfying
and
to
that's
you.
Fine. Yeah. It didn't feel satisfying at first, but now it does. Waking up is a lot easier. I sleep a lot better. My energy level in general is better. I'm still losing weight. My alcohol quantity is so limited that I'm actually down 45 pounds now.
Smile.
Are you taking my picture?
I'm trying to take your like sexy 40 pounds down picture.
Oh God,
but
I don't know if. But the thing is, the weird thing is like my clothes they're too big now. Like it's like.
Smile.
Put your phone down. Like literally.
Right. We don't need to see that.
That's been a change. Like, yeah, 45 pounds down. I'm still not like thin,
No, but
I'm closer to healthy.
I don't know. You're pretty damn thin right now.
I'm not though. If I'm closer to a healthier weight. I still got a ways to go, but like I'm a lot closer. I feel a lot better.
I am 20 pounds up post-COVID, right?
That seems more than reasonable.
I mean, it is totally reasonable considering I went from a relatively normal active lifestyle to 0.
You were trapped inside your house.
I was trapped inside my house. I work inside my home. My husband works inside of our home.
Yeah.
We literally, like, my phone will tell me that I've walked 30 steps in a day.
Literally, my phone is only tracking the amount of times, like, it's like my footpath to the couch, my couch to the bathroom a couple times throughout the day, maybe to the kitchen, and then ultimately back to my bedroom.
Yeah, that is all.
And so it's like 45 steps.
I do not move at all. And that was not my case pre-COVID. I had a commute to work that involved a walk.
Yep.
Like, all these things were kind of built into my day. And now I have no movement whatsoever.
Right.
Back to your point about alcohol becoming a habit. 5 p.m., I'm cracking a White Claw. I'm pouring a glass of wine. Like, I'm for sure... The habit of alcohol has certainly increased since pandemic started.
Well, because like I said, it's an activity you can do at home.
Absolutely.
And it feels like the home activities are limited.
Yes. So yes, it is out of boredom, and it is also out of the desire to do something fun. And we don't have any fun plans that have been happening.
Fun outlets.
Yeah, there's no fun outlets. So it's like, okay, I guess I'll have a glass of wine right now and I can chill out and enjoy my evening at home per the usual for the past year.
Well, and you're a partnered person, so your fun home options are like eating, drinking, or f***ing.
Correct. We started out f***ing a lot more than usual, and even that has petered out and has been taken over by drinking.
I mean, congratulations on the
Thank you.
The increased number of but as an unpartnered person,
right,
my activities were eating and drinking, and I did that a lot.
Right.
Both of those things. So whereas you gained
Correct.
like a COVID 20, I gained like a COVID 40 to 50.
Right. So now, like, yes, the weight sucks. Like, I don't feel like I look good, but mostly like
You look beautiful.
Thank you so much. But mostly my body feels like shit.
Yeah.
Like literal shit.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have no muscles in my body.
Yep.
I feel like I get winded super fast.
Weird cramping in parts of my body that I didn't even realize existed.
Oh my gosh.
I started to get concerned if I had I was like Googling what are bed sores and do I have them? Like...
Yes, every part of my body does not feel good.
Have
every
I been
part
horizontal
of my body,
too long?
Yes, is screaming out.
Yeah.
I have like a weird pain in my upper or my lower back, upper butt, like
upper hip, lower back. Yes.
Just from like freaking sitting in one
couch.
place for like 10 hours a day.
Well, and it's the couch specific. Couches are not meant for literal hours of.
Right. And most of us that are working from home don't have like a proper office chair.
No.
I mean, you see this chair I'm sitting. This is what I sit in for 8 hours a day. Like
No, that chair looks awful.
It cannot be good.
I mean, the real problem is all the ergonomic chairs are hideous.
And expensive and hideous. You're right. I don't want that in my house.
I don't want that in my house.
No. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure for a lot of us right now, we're turning the corner to like, we can no longer be in this.
True, but
like
we are also
my
turning
body
the wrong
can
corner of the Delta variant, which is
Right.
like, Aaron and I were just talking about this. This Delta variant feels awful because like we got a taste of freedom again. Like we're fully vaccinated and to be fair, we are still extremely cautious, right? We're still masking up when we're going into public places, inside specifically, but even outside if it's crowded, we're more cautious than some. And I don't know. It feels like we did. It just sucks because it feels like we did the right thing. We listened to all the guidance and we followed the rules, and other people didn't. And now we're being punished for it, and things are regressing.
Yes. And if we're specifically talking about like our bodies, I kind of felt like, okay, I'm going to put on this 20 pounds. And then when things go back to normal and we're doing our jobs and living our normal life, that 20 pounds will just like shed magically off of me because I'll be back to normal body movement.
I feel like that's a reasonable expectation.
Right. I was like, it's fine. And now I'm like, oh, actually, there is no back to real life.
Well, yeah. And that's the part, is that like, we're not going back to the normal we knew. It's going to be a new normal.
Correct.
Which is still very much TBD.
So part of that is I'm not going back to an office. Like, until things are 100% safe, I'm not going back to an office. And that's great. I'm on board with that. I'm happy my company has made that decision. But also, that means that now my movement is 100% on me. If this is my long-term situation, I need to build in throughout my day time to move my body, because sitting on my ass for 9 hours a day is not where it's at.
No, I mean, thankfully you have a built-in walking machine, which is you have a dog.
True. I do take my dog out 2 times a day.
So maybe you make it 3 times a day. Maybe you go out once before you start work, and that can be like your, I'm doing air quotes, quote unquote, commute walk. And then you can go during lunch, and that can be your lunchtime walk. And then you go at the end of the day, and that can be your end of the day commute walk, you know, like.
Right. So let's just all admit what is fun to us and what is not fun, right?
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of this messaging is like, just do this, just do that. And it's like, well, that doesn't sound fun at all. Like,
no.
Walking my little asshole dog.
Your dog is lovely, but also a weird asshole.
Yeah, he's freaking annoying. It's not like I enjoy walking him. Like,
no, it's a necessity.
Yeah. So I just feel like for your body to be healthy and active, you have to enjoy what you are doing, period. And that is such like a missed opportunity, right? So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what you just said about walking the dog. Yes, great advice. And also, I have to find a thing that's actually fun to do.
So maybe at least for the morning is you place an order at the Starbucks.
Oh, there you go.
You walk down to the Starbucks and pick it up in the morning, and that's like your morning treat, reward for going out there. You're walking the dog, which is a necessity, and then you get a treat. Right. And then you get to come home and enjoy that treat. Right.
I like that idea because it gives me like a purpose.
And an incentive.
And an incentive. I like that.
Why was an incentive so hard to say?
Incentive.
And you get a treat.
I like treats.
Yeah. You know, and you could at least rotate that to keep it interesting.
Right. Because I definitely feel like, okay, if the going back to normal and also dropping the 20 pounds is not feasible, what does your working from home routine look like so that you're actually moving your body throughout the day?
And also just being outside a little bit.
Yes, totally. Maybe even just like leaving for lunch. Right?
Well, I was just going to say that too.
Walking to a lunch place, eating lunch, walking home.
Yeah. Or even not even to a lunch place, like, because that could get expensive quick.
Sure. Make your sandwich, walk to the park.
Walk to the park. And then the other side of the every other day, walk to like the market down there and get your supplies for the next 2 days of lunch, and then you go to the park, and then the next day you get so that way you're always having like a fresh producey thing.
Right.
Go to Dan's produce and get his fresh produce every other day. I have a book for you to read that I found super helpful. It's a bit extreme, and she quit drinking altogether, but
I can't read anything extreme, but go ahead.
No. She's, I guess I phrased that wrong. The thing I liked about it is she's telling her story, and she gives like helpful advice in reflecting on her story, but she's like not asking you to do the same thing. She's like, basically throughout the whole thing, she's like, do what's right for you. If it's like stopping drinking altogether, great. If it's not, great. She's like, whatever, do whatever you want to do. And I really loved the book.
Yeah,
it made me feel really good about my choice.
I feel a little bit like it's vegetarianism at this point. It's like, yeah, eating meat is fucked up. Like, the system is fucked up. The way we treat animals is fucked up. How it interacts with our bodies is kind of fucked up. I should probably eat less meat. And I feel the same way about alcohol. I'm like, it's poison. It adds calories and weight to your body. Like, it's not good for you. So I should probably decrease that. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. And I had a very similar perspective going into it. But this book kind of helped shift my perspective. There's a difference between eating stuff that's not like the most healthy for you, like maybe meat is like, but meat, that's a debate though. That's an ongoing debate about the health benefits versus cons of eating meat. But alcohol, that one, like the way this author in particular, it's Holly Whitaker. The book is Quit Like a Woman.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's great.
Yeah.
But like she lays it out. She's like, do whatever you want to do, but I'm going to just lay out some like science for you.
Right.
And here's the science. It is literal poison that you're putting into your body. And this is the actual scientific ways that it affects your body, both metabolically, your like via your circadian rhythm, like it disrupts your sleep cycle. It disrupts all these things. And I don't know, it's very interesting in the way she wrote, like really, I got it. Like I understood. And I was like, okay, I'm not ready to do what she did, but I'm hearing it, I'm taking it. And now I feel a lot more measured and thoughtful about when I drink.
Right. I mean, basically it should be like birthday cake, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, that is sort of the way.
Special or none, depending on your, psyche, but it should be a special occasion beverage.
Right. Well, I'm not going Jehovah's Witness about alcohol.
Well, come on. We've got at least 10 birthdays a year we can celebrate.
Well, it's just for me, like the main change for me, and this sounds so simple, but within a pandemic, it really wasn't, which was not drinking alone. I don't drink by myself anymore. That's it. Like that's been the biggest change. And I've realized that cut out about 80% of my drinking.
Right.
When I took a step back and sort of like did the math and realized that statistic, I was like, fuck. I was drinking a lot by myself, not only in frequency, but in quantity. Mm-hmm. So that's what kind of propelled me to, and I know this is maybe controversial, but like I started tracking my calories. Not because I was trying to lose weight, but mostly because I was very curious about what my caloric intake was without alcohol.
Sure.
During the 3 months that I wasn't drinking. And then what my caloric intake looked like as I reintroduced alcohol on a limited level. And it's been really, really interesting. I'm not going to throw out numbers because I feel like that's not helpful to people. But I will say that like, without alcohol, my caloric intake was much, much lower than I thought it was going to be like on a regular basis.
Right. And it is a numbers game. Like I frequently track my caloric intake and most normal days I'm like at or under my caloric goal. Yeah. Exactly. And then if you toss in my wine in the evening or whatever,
it doubles.
I'm always over. And it's like a full meal's worth of calories. Yeah,
it literally
that you're
almost
packing
doubles.
On just with the alcohol.
Or at least for me, it almost doubled. If not those days when I was like, you know what sounds good, opening another bottle of wine. It sometimes tripled my caloric intake, which that was an insane thing to realize. Like logging these numbers, I'm just like, holy shit. Like the level
it is
that your caloric intake goes up when you are consuming alcohol at what maybe feels like an okay level, but then you're just like, oh shit, it's not okay. Like
I'm like, but wait, I had a salad for lunch and dinner. Like, how is it possible?
How is it possible that I ate 3,000 calories? Oh, I didn't. I drank them.
I drank them. Exactly.
I drank 2,200 of those calories.
Right.
I don't know about you, but like whenever you go to the doctor's office and they ask you to fill out that little form that's like, how much do you drink on average? I'm always, and then it's asking you specifically for like how many drinks a week. And I'm like, I can't calculate by week. Like that's not something I could like reasonably, like I always wrote in like 2 to 6 bottles of wine per week. Like, I don't know, like too much. Like, what do I write? Like, you know,
Yeah.
But now it feels like a lot more reasonable. I can be like, IDK. It's still, I don't know how to calculate per week, but like it feels a lot more like a bottle every other week.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Question mark. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels a lot more reasonable though. Like I think about filling out that doctor's office form and feeling a little bit better about myself, but that journey, the like shift in my alcohol relationship has been really interesting because I knew going into it, like I was pretty sure I didn't want to quit drinking altogether. I really enjoy having a glass of wine with friends. I really enjoy like mulled wine during the holidays. I really like drinking when I'm traveling, and not drinking like getting fucked up, but like going to Ireland and having a pint, you know, all the things like that are quintessential, whatever travel you're doing. I like to experience those things. So I'm really pleased with the shift that's happened. Like I've been truthfully way more successful than I thought I was going to be. Like I thought I was going to stop for 3 months and then just roll right back into what I was doing. But I don't know.
You haven't been tempted. You've continued with your reading books.
I still I read on the regular in the evening. That's like my evening thing to do. In the evening, it's drinking water and decaffeinated tea.
Yeah, I definitely want some bubbles in the early evening.
Yeah. So like a caffeine-free Diet Dr. Pepper would be perfect, but they are literally impossible to find.
So rude.
It's so rude.
And how do you entertain yourself and make yourself feel good?
I play with my dog. Quite a bit, and my cat if he's into it, but he's old, so sometimes he's not. So mostly the dog. I am planning my road trip.
Right.
Which is taking up some time.
Yeah, you have a thing to plan for.
I have a thing to plan for. Yeah, it doesn't sound like very much, but somehow it takes up a lot of time.
Okay.
And obviously like the television, like the Netflix and the Hulu. So
yeah, but you don't feel like you have to have a beverage with you for that.
No, which is weird. I used to, but not anymore.
It's amazing.
Thank you.